Hey all, Nicholas Steffen here again today with another video for Project Wake Up. Today I want to talk to you all about 1973 and Section 128 of our Commonwealth of Australia 1900 UK Constitution. As all legislation passed since Federation, changes in government department names, anything that alters our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution, being passed via referendum pursuant to Section 128 of our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution 1900 UK. In our de jure Commonwealth of Australia, we are meant to have a democracy. Any new laws brought in, repeals, amendments, and any changes in government department names must be voted on by the Australian people. Here is a long list of the illegal acts that have been committed by this unconstitutional Australian government. Their Acts Interpretations Act 1973, unlawfully removed without referendum pursuant to Section 128 of our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution 1900 UK, our Government of the Commonwealth of Australia, as prescribed by our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution 1900 UK, and replaced it with their corporate Australian government, the all-uppercase Commonwealth of Australia that you see registered on the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. The Acts Interpretations Act 1973, unlawfully removed without referendum pursuant to Section 128 of our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution 1900 UK, our Parliament of the Commonwealth of Australia, as prescribed by our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution 1900 UK, and replaced it with their corporate Australian Parliament. Their Australian Citizenship 1973, unlawfully removed without referendum pursuant to Section 128 of our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution 1900 UK, our allegiance as British subjects, and replaced it with their corporatised Australian citizen aboard their corporate ship, the all-uppercase name. Their Death Penalty Abolition Act 1973, unlawfully removed the death penalty for committing treason if the Australian people ever woke up to what was going on. But still today, at law, the death penalty exists for treason. The Banking Act 1973 unlawfully removed banks from being of the Commonwealth of Australia to their all-uppercase Commonwealth of Australia. The Lands Acquisition Act 1973 unlawfully gave them the right to take land belonging to the Commonwealth of Australia whenever they want. This is spoils of war. The Statute Law Revision Act 1973 unlawfully took out of the Commonwealth and took over all assets including our military, thus now making them mercenaries. So their mercenaries, the Australian Defence Force, which sits under the St Edward's Crown, a crown with dipped arches, is not under the same imperial crown as what our Anzacs were, the imperial crown being raised arches. This is spoils of war. The Banking Act 1974 unlawfully removed Commonwealth of Australia off the banknotes and replaced it with just Australia, thus taking the Commonwealth of Australia guarantee off them. The Governor-General Act 1974 unlawfully took out Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia and put him into their all-uppercase Commonwealth of Australia, and therefore he does not represent Her Most Excellent Majesty. The Parliament Act 1974 was to determine the position of a new Parliament House for their corporate foreign Australian Parliament, which is not our de jure Parliament of the Commonwealth of Australia as prescribed by our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution 1900 UK. The Australian Federal Police Act 1979 created their own federal police under the corporate Australian government and does not protect the people of our de jure Commonwealth of Australia. The High Court of Australia Act 1979 created their own High Court of Australia under the corporate Australian government, which is not a High Court of the Commonwealth of Australia. The Judiciary Amendment Act 1979, Gough Whitlam created a fictional Queen of Australia, which is just a statutory source, an instrument of no lawful authority. The Evidence Amendment Act 1979, the private corporate High Court of Australia with its own Judiciary Act and its own Evidence Act under the Australian Government and its Australian Parliament, none of which has authority over the people of the Commonwealth, under the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 UK. There, Australia Act 1986, this act was to bring in the states into conformity with the Foreign Parliament of Australia and its fictional Queen of Australia. Their Statute, Law and Justice Legislation Amendment Act 1988, which amended Section 80, replacing the common law of England with the common law in Australia, which is really just case judge-made law for corporate policy. Therefore, giving all rights and assets to the Foreign Parliament and corporate Australian government by removing every right of the people of the Commonwealth of Australia. I do this out of love for my fellow man.